Good evening, traders, and welcome to the midweek report for MR Strategies. I want you guys to get a good look at how today kind of transpired, but I maybe want to start out today and kind of explaining this a little better for and a better understanding for whoever really is paying attention to what I'm putting out here. Um, and I appreciate anybody who has put the time into look at this work at the work I do. I think it's very consistent. And I want you to understand that no matter what type of skill level you add, even if you haven't traded this, you can. And this doesn't require a lot of money. The only thing this requires from anybody, for all traders, is focus and patience. And that's probably the biggest problem that any newer trader has is being patient enough to play what is being taught or the areas that are most significant to where you want to be engaged and execute. And it's hard. I understand it's difficult for traders to take that initiative and execute. But I think some of the better things of my analysis and my strategies are that it's really not about the timing of it all. You want to be aware of it and you absolutely want to anticipate. And anticipation, I'm going to talk about this in greater detail once I show you how these last few days have played out. But it really depends on your patience and your focus and being able to look to get engaged into these areas. It's about an area, it's about location, it's not about a timing or anything like that. It's all about an area. You're not going to sell the high, you're not going to buy the low. You just want to be in the ballpark and you want to be moving with the trend. So, unfortunately, this industry gets a bad rap, and sometimes understandably so. There's just a lot of bad traders out there are just not consistent, and sometimes, they're only as good as their last good trade. And people get sucked in, and it's unfortunate because there really are a lot of good trading rooms out there, and I think it's difficult for all traders, especially new ones, to establish any type of trust level with individual websites and or traders. So, I hope you're taking the time to look at what I have been showing you guys and gals. And, like I said, it doesn't take a lot of money to get this thing started. It's all about your patience and it's all about trading smart. You don't have to trade at all. And it's also important you don't get caught up in all the movement. It shouldn't make a difference, You put your trades on, you wait for your confirmation, you put your parameter stops in, and you let the trade play out for you. And if you're patient enough to wait for the key locations, and I'll explain those in greater detail, which I have been doing for a couple months now. I keep talking about locations, levels, pivots. Once again, futures trading, like pretty much like stock as well, price is pretty fickle, but it'll it'll often duplicate itself and repeat patterns. And it's really about the time you put into it and studying it. I always come on and I show you these highs and lows from the previous session. Trust me, these are areas you want to pay attention to for the following day. And it's a great habit to take a look at what it does overnight. And it gives you an idea of what to expect. But let's get straight into today's trading because I think what we've been spending in the last few months that I've been on, we have been in just a straight bull market, and it's all about finding opportunities to get long. And even in the bull trend, when it's an extreme phase like it has been, it was difficult because price was accelerating at such an extent that it was just it puts you in a difficult spot because you don't want to chase. It's all about patience, and trust me, a lot of this bull market, I've been on trades because I'm just not going to chase them at the levels. So let's get right into it. I came on Sunday to give you an idea of how to play Monday. And I did the same on Monday, and I think both of these days were really solid analysis for all traders. And once again, I always talk about what are the higher probabilities, where are you going to find the most success, and how are you looking at this market presently right now? It's corrective. And you had this, this huge sell-off, and as has been the case throughout this bull trend, is how hard it's recovered and bounced back. But you have to be smart about these bounce backs, especially now. And I spoke to you on Sunday night, and I told you that all your significant resistance was around in the ES was at 3,400, 4,400 going up, and you can pretty much see it right here with all these moving averages. Price basically from Friday settled under the 50, and look what's happened. They just pounced on it. And look at now. I want to show you how a simple trend line plays well for you. I posted this. I think I might even made this on Sunday. In a minute, these 2 days were established, and you take a look at these highs that we got on Monday and today. All right, and these spike highs were just classic pressing price, getting everybody on. And I'm going to show you this on the chart here as well, because you can see how this thing played out. And this is where I talk about being smart about your approach. You're in a corrective trade right now. All right. And yes, we're expecting a relief rally, and it's probably going to push a little bit. But you got to understand, on top of that, we gapped higher and we're pushing higher. So you say to yourself, what are we doing up here? Okay. So right out of the chute, take a look at this. We opened up here in the morning at around 60. And I missed this morning, so it really doesn't make a difference to me. But look at this bottom. Look how they pushed this right here. They rammed them from the morning, and look how hard they got that spike high. Something came out at 9. I don't know if there was some type of report. All the markets spiked, even the Dow as well. Everybody spiked. The Nasdaq, and look at this price point, 85 R1. Look at this trend line comes right in, right at 85. Okay, so your expectations are what? For price to fail at the extremes. It's a corrective trade. You should be looking for the short. This was the turn. I wasn't on, but this was your first sign. And then up this last push up right here was the golden goose. That's where your short is, and you let it play out. It chops around. It's trying to press back into action, but look at the momentum. The momentum says otherwise. The ribbon from this platform is saying price should continue to the downside. Now, while you're looking at it from this perspective, all right, now you got an opening here at 60. That's your opening range. All right, that's going to be your first challenge. You also have a gap that goes down to about 43.40. And then on top of that, you had a big number down there, the daily pivot. All right, and I believe I spoke about this Monday night. If either way you go, sell the weakness at the extreme, at the resistance, and look for the opportunity to get long from the pivot, which is sitting just above the 100 MA. So let's just look at how this thing played out. Look at this. Came down to 60, your opening range. This is all happening in a matter of minutes, by the way. And then the breakdown. Chopped around a little bit here. It worked at 50 area, which I think is a pretty big number. I want to pay attention to. I spoke about this on Sunday. And then eventually, this is all chopped. This is really difficult right here. Market was trying to get an idea. Still had some gap to fill, and they filled it right there. And then while they were at it, they came down and they punched through the pivot. Now you're looking at it, okay? You just got a 50 handle break in a matter of, let's say, 40 minutes, okay? Now you got to think the market. You got to look at it this way. Is the market ready to crash even more? What am I looking for down here? I'm looking for the opportunity, maybe this market holding up. And here's your double bottom long right there. Pivot reversal right in here around 39.40, and look what they did to it. And that's just expectations, anticipating a location following a 50 handle break. So that's what extreme trading is all about. And even if you're a new trader and you want to have a better understanding of a platform or your own platform and how to incorporate these type of strategies, please reach out to me. I'm willing to work with the newer traders to teach them the platforms, whether it's taking on a new account or if you have your own that you really want to work with. Reach out to me. I'll do individual strategy based on your own personal experience and your type of criteria. So this was today's session, and you can see that the markets rebounded quite well. In fact, they rammed them all the way back up to where it all started from, and then they provided some more shorts. These are just volatility is just amazing when it's like this. All right, it's all about you have to fade these extreme moves, or you have to look for them to fizzle out. You get in these hard run ups, and then it's like, this move right here after tearing in the pivot, there's another 30 handle rally. So now you got to feel the market's a little bit exhausted. And I understand there is a gap that's from about 43.80 up to about 44.20. I don't know. I just don't know. We talked about it yesterday, and you can see it's going to be hard pressed to get through. There is a lot of resistance up there. So, I'm kind of thinking this is about maybe this market wants to find a bottom first before it goes challenging up there. I still believe there's some room for the downside to go. I think there's one good solid rundown to kind of clear all this out, shake everybody out, and then establish maybe the next leg, bull leg to the upside. But let's just see what happens. That's I don't want to overanalyze it for you. This is about anticipating where the market can go. I talked about it Sunday. I said, hey, higher opening, look for weakness, take the short. If you got the lower opening, look for the opportunity to get long from the key locations. And you can see that for tomorrow, we're already sitting at the pivot. Now, bear in mind, we have gapped higher again. We closed pretty bad. We closed at 35. It's not a good close. So, once again, they're getting a little ahead of themselves overnight. They did this all week. Will they hold up? I don't know. We're gonna have to see. Like I said, we could analyze things till we're blue in the face, but if you don't get confirmation for what you anticipate, then you have to take a back seat and reevaluate. So, be patient. Have an idea of how you want to attack this market and where you want to attack it from. But don't trade it all. You don't have to trade every movement. Being patient in this volatility, trust me, you'll be rewarded. You will totally be rewarded. And staying in that mode is going to make you a really consistent, confident trader. So for tomorrow, like I said, we've gapped higher. The analysis stays the same. Remember, you're in corrective. You can see here they're hovering this trend line. I mean, I just don't know. They could continue to push up, but this is all your resistance is all up here, traders, all the way across the board. All right. You got a flexible grid. You can see what's happening here with the Dow and the Nasdaq, all pretty much in the same boat. Could probably run a tighter trend line right here with the Dow, and that kind of gives you an idea of where this could maybe go before it fizzles. And that's about 34, a little above 34,000. And to be honest with you, let me show you how this plays out. This is how I really put it all together. So take a look at this. All right, so now you gave you this little read off this trend line, right? And take a look at all your highs up here where they all failed today. 34,060. This is where that trend line's coming in. These were the areas that fizzled out, and we're already challenged, kind of pretty close to challenging them right now. So be smart. You don't want to get in front of a hard moving train, and remember it's corrective, but the market can find itself really quickly, and they're always trying to take advantage of the value and the opportunity to push it off of these extreme lows. So, be aware, be patient, and stay consistent with your approach to trading. And once again, I'm at mlbino at AOL.com, and like I said, newer trader, you have interest. You can make money consistently. You don't have to put a lot of time into this. It's a little bit of homework, and that's about putting it all in play. But you have to be willing to put a little time into it, and you have to be, you have to be patient and stay focused. I think traders get too excited and they start to act on their own. Sometimes they get a little extra confident, and then they get out, and then they lose sight of the importance of trading, and that's being patient and taking the trades that are going to provide the best return and with the least amount of risk. And that's always with confirmation and with a little institutional help. And that's usually in the form of the banks and the big players that are trading volume. But that's usually indicative by these particular zones and our volume profile, whatever type of platform you use. It's all reading information relatively the same, and you can just see how and when the institutions are also playing from all these key locations. I mean, they're looking at it the same way. They're seeing these big moves. My God, everybody leaning one way hard, you know, and they get you all caught into it, and then you think you got something, and this here was a big area. This low down here is actually the 100 MA. This is going to be a big area. I mean, until they take that out, that is support. And if and when that comes out, then we'll worry about it. Right now, you can see they're holding a little support. They keep holding between 43.40 and 43.50. But, it's not where the day starts, it's where it ends. And, today they rammed them. They looked like everybody was happy go lucky, and they took it away real fast. And then they took it all back, and they brought it all the way back up. They get you all caught up, and then they pull the rug again. So it's about, you have to be smart. You have to think. You have to be a thinker trader. All right, and this is what I'm here for. This is what I teach. This is where my specialty comes into play. So feel free to reach out. mlbino at AOL.com. I'm Mike Rabinowitz. This is MR Strategies on Wednesday, the 21st of September. Have a great night, guys. And you know what? Good luck trading tomorrow.